Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about some of the best Star Wars content you can find, the 2003 2D Clone Wars. Back in 2003, before the release of Revenge of the Sith, George Lucas wanted to portray the events of the Clone Wars and show how Chancellor Palpatine was captured. So he teamed up with the Samurai Jack creator Genndy Tartakovsky to create the original Clone Wars. In this video, I'm going to explain why this micro-series is honestly up there with the best of the games and movies, and why you have to watch it. To begin with, the animation style is very unique for Star Wars, as it takes heavy inspiration from Samurai Jack. It's really smooth and allows action scenes to go to insane lengths, and is able to present different Force abilities in a very OP way that the movies would never be able to get away with. It's very fast-paced, and it's incredible to think that every single frame is a separate drawing. One great element about this show are the clones. They aren't as good as in the main Clone Wars, as in that they all have their own individual personalities and traits, but in this they are tactical geniuses. In the opening of the show, one of the first episodes revolves around a group of clones trying to invade and retake a city from the Separatists. The clones are shown as competent and intelligent in this episode, and it's a joy to watch, as they use sign language to communicate where to aim and where the enemies are. There is also a badass moment where one ARC trooper flanks behind a Separatist tank and jumps inside, shooting all the droids inside. The best part about this show is the action. Most of this show, admittedly, is just frantic but awesome action scenes, which isn't a complaint, it's just true. But I am happy that it is mostly action, because the action is glorious. The two best scenes to prove this is Anakin vs Ventress and the Mace Windu episode. There was one more very incredible episode in this series that will be part of its own video, the first Grievous scene. Anyway, the Anakin vs Ventress duel. To start with, I love the setup. Dooku recruits the fallen Jedi Ventress, as she is strong in the Force and skilled with a lightsaber. So Palpatine uses her to further the Jedi's distrust of Anakin and his own strength, by sending her to assassinate Anakin, knowing full well that she will lose. So, Anakin chases Ventress as she leads him to Yavin 4 with a group of clones, and violently picks the clones off one by one and destroys their ships. This opening sequence is like a horror scene, as each clone is brutally bashed against trees and dragged away into bushes, never to be seen again. Eventually, it ends with just Anakin left alive, stranded on the planet. The duel begins as Tartakovsky flexes how quick-paced his animation is, as the two warriors pounce from tree to tree, rapidly clashing their sabres. After a while, the two fighters arrive at a temple and reach a momentary standstill. It begins to rain as they regain their breath, and as the rain hits the sabres, steam is produced. This scene is so cool. Steam being created as water hits the sabre makes so much sense, and the noise is oddly satisfying. If only the Rise of Skywalker could have done this, the Rey and Kylo duel would have been so much better. As the fight progresses, they enter the temple, as everything goes pitch black, meaning that the only light left is the lighting from the sabres. Anakin is lit up by blue, as Ventress is glowing in red. Symbolically, this is really cool, as Anakin starts with blue lighting to present he is the hero, obviously. But as his anger grows, and as he begins losing the fight, the red sun covers his body, shrouding him in anger, representing his evil, foreshadowing his turn to the dark side. Sorry, got all media studies on you there. As I mentioned, the fight ends with the red sun lighting the scene. Ventress unarms Anakin and goes for the killing blow, but he grabs her arms and begins crushing her wrists, making her drop one of her sabres. Then, he lifts up the sabre with the Force and grabs it for himself, whilst the red sun covers his body. This shot is brilliant. He ferociously begins battering her. She collapses to the ground, as Anakin keeps bashing his sabre against hers, while screaming. The rock she's leant on begins to crack, as we see flashes of Yoda, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, reminding us that this isn't the Jedi way, and his masters will be ashamed of him as she falls down to a pit, dying. The second scene I want to talk about is the Mace Windu battle. This episode is such a great set piece. The Separatists have a machine that causes mass earthquakes. Mace is hit with this, leading to him losing his saber, so he has to battle an entire army of droids with no saber. As a result, he begins using insane force powers, crushing all the droids' heads, punching them, snapping off their arms, force busting them away. It's a sick scene, leading to him finally getting his lightsaber back and attacking the machine, destroying it. I've only spoken about 3 episodes out of around maybe 20, with many varying lengths ranging from 3 minutes to 15, and I encourage heavily that you go and watch it now. It's only 2 hours long and is on YouTube. It's so easy to watch, so please just go and do it. I promise it will be an action-packed joyride that you won't regret.